Hey everybody. So if you've been looking at getting a F450 or even a Ram 4500 or any truck that's going to come equipped with medium duty tires such as the Continental HSR or HDRs, you are probably not aware of probably the single biggest differentiator between a truck with these tires versus say an F350 or a standard dually with the 17-inch dually tires on it. One of the things that you have to keep in mind with these specific tires is that they're a very, very, very thick compound. I believe these tires are either 12 or 14 ply tires, RG rated tires. So these actually have a payload of 3,970 pounds when at 110 psi. It is sidewall, 4 steel plies, 1 steel ply sidewall tire. So what you want to be aware of is that they're going to ride a lot different than your traditional tire. Primarily because the compound inside of this tire and how it's designed is a much more rigid compound, the sidewall and the actual tread. Because of that, the way the tire tracks on the road is also going to be different. One of the biggest differences people feel right off the bat when they buy one of these trucks is how the truck tends to want to pull and follow ruts far more than any other tire they've owned. And that's really because of not only the typical thickness or width of the tire is going to be a narrower tire, but also because of the far more rigid sidewall and tread platform. So I'm going to do a video of me driving with it, and I'm actually going to demonstrate how severe it can actually be. Most people, again, they don't realize that because of just the compound of how the tire is built, it can be a very disconcerting feel when you hit a rut and the truck literally pulls extremely hard into that rut. Another thing, so the typical bead on a standard truck tire is very similar to a car tire, where it's a kind of a concaved lip that folds in behind the actual edge of the rim. On a medium duty or heavy duty truck tire, it's smooth. It actually doesn't have that same concave lip. And part of the reason for that is because the actual tire is such a harder compound, it doesn't need to have that little concave lip. It has very little play. That's why a lot of passenger tire shops like Discount Tire won't mount this type of tire on a rim, only because the compound is so thick and it's hard and it's not very pliable, and they don't have the equipment that can mechanically put it in place and seat the bead. So what you end up running into is the main reason why you can't really put a tire on one of these rims that isn't designed for that specific size. So in the case of my truck, it's a 19.5 by 6 inch width rim. And the only size tire designed for this particular rim is the 225/70 R19.5. If I went to a 245 or a 265, the problem you could have is because that's a wider tire, the bead won't sit perfectly in the way that it's supposed to, like a standard vehicle might. And if you inflate it to the recommended pressure, it could actually destroy the wheel or even destroy the tire itself. So guys, I'm here in my truck now, and I'm going to be getting onto the expressway here shortly, and I wanted to kind of give you a visual of what I talk about when I say the tires, these medium duty tires tend to track into ruts pretty severely. There is a beautiful Porsche Carrera in front of me on this trailer, and I think it's actually a turbo. Wow, 911 turbo. That is a beautiful car. So guys, I'm about to get onto the expressway. There's actually a spot up here that every time I drive over it, it pulls me into the rut. And I want you guys to kind of see what I'm talking about when I refer to these medium duty tires. In my case, they're 225/70 19.5s. But this is something that I've only experienced on this truck. I don't know if you can notice that. here's another spot where, again, it's just hard to keep the truck tracking straight when you get to one of these ruts. You can see how the truck wants to kind of get squirrely over those ruts. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to point out. I know that somebody had actually commented on one of my videos about the tires, wanting to know a little bit more about them. They are significantly different in how they ride from a handling perspective than your traditional truck tires. I think on my old truck I had 275 60 20s that came stock. They were Michelin AT2 tires, and then I upgraded to the Nito Trail Grapplers, and they were 295 70 or 295 65 20s. Still a huge difference in handling compared to these Continental HSR tires that are on this truck. And in some cases, depending on the region that you buy a 450, it'll either be equipped with HSRs or the HDRs, which are either the drive or steer version of the tires. The only difference between an HDR and an HSR is the HDR has kind of an open tread pattern on the edge, which gives you a little bit more traction. They create a little bit more noise. The HSR is still considered an all-terrain or an on-off-road medium-duty tire. From a tread perspective, it has what's considered a closed tread pattern on the edge, and it's primarily meant for the steer tires or the front tires of a truck, whereas HDRs are primarily meant for the drive tires or the back tires of the truck. Really, it doesn't matter what or how you place them on the truck. HSRs are supposed to provide just a little bit more traction, or a little bit more wet, smooth road traction, whereas HDRs are supposed to provide a little bit more off-road traction. Anyways, guys, I hope this helps a little bit, gives you a little bit more information about the tires that come on these trucks, lets you know a little bit what to look out for if you're going to get an F450 or any truck that comes equipped with medium-duty tires. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.